this is, if it actually does come about, it's pretty stellar, because it will mean that for the first time, families who thought they couldn't possibly go abroad to an amber list country because of the 10 days of self-isolation, as well as the 2 tests you have to take, on top of that, all of the children that you take with you would have to have a test as well. This is great news. This is basically saying that as long as 2 adults are both double jabbed and have been double jabbed for 14 days before their trip, they can go abroad with their children, importantly with their children, and also at the same time will not have to do the self-isolation when they return. There will still, it seems to be, testing requirements when they return, but it will mean that there'll be an end to the self-isolation, which is a huge thing that would put most people off. Interestingly though, this is talking about happening in August. That really cuts out, quite a lot of the school summer holidays. And without those school summer holidays, many travel companies are really going to struggle to survive. We also are yet to find out whether or not this will mean that countries will end up not being on a traffic light system anymore, and whether it will just be a case of you can go to these countries and these countries you cannot go to, hotel quarantine, the 10 days in compulsory quarantine in a hotel, which costs $1,750. I think that would be much easier for consumers to understand. The current system is very confused, and because the government have also been saying do not travel to an amber country for leisure purposes, they're not saying it's illegal, but they're saying they advise you not to. That has had a huge impact and dampened demand, and seen many travel companies just simply stop selling those holidays.
So whichever way you look at it, though, this is a boost to the travel industry, and will come as some relief to parents with children looking to get away.
Yeah, I think this is really good news if it does happen for parents, because the idea of having to spend 10 days in self-isolation on your return was going to make holidays practically impossible for most families. So this is great news on that front. We just need to find out exactly when the government are planning on starting this. If it is by August, that's even better news, because it means that travel companies have some way of saving the summer. They are desperate at the moment to start getting people travelling again, to get some money in, and we could see, without this kind of release and the ability to travel a little bit easier, we could see many travel companies going under. They are that close to the edge at the moment.
And it seems a little fairer too. We're hearing reports that German holidaymakers are scooping up all of these sunbeds on the Costa del Sol, etc., usually the preserve of Brits when they go away, and their vaccination program hasn't been anywhere near as successful as ours. So a little bit of joy there.
Well, definitely, yes, because we did risk being left behind. We're seeing nations across Europe with far less good vaccination records than us, already deciding that they're going to let people travel again, that double jabbed people can travel, or people, once they've taken a PCR test, can travel. And yet we are still here stuck at home. And there is much frustration, not just from the travel industry, but from consumers who are thinking, we've gone through many months of lockdown. We've done our bit. We've had our jabs. Where's the benefits? Why aren't we actually reaping the benefits of the stellar, success of our vaccination program? Now, obviously, everybody is going to point to the Delta variant and say that is of concern. But really, double jab people who have up to 98% protection against hospitalization, even with the Delta variant, they will be asking themselves, why can't I travel to a country that has less cases than we have here in the UK? There doesn't seem to be any sense in that. We've got, obviously, at the end of this week, towards the beginning of next week, another look at this June 28 day when they will relook at the traffic light system. And it could be that that's the point where they announce that this idea of having double vaccinated passengers able to travel without self-quarantine on return, that will be announced then. And it would really boost the industry if it did do that.